The night my family laughed at me was the night something shattered in my heart. We were gathered at my parents' house, celebrating my younger brother's promotion. Tim had joined a steady firm after college, the kind adults nodded approvingly about, and his career seemed as predictable as the dawn. As the evening wore on, my father, leaning back with that familiar, condescending smirk, asked, "So, Alex, when can we expect to see your little video game hobby become something real?" The room erupted in chuckles, as if the question was punctuated with a comical punchline. My cheeks burned with the shame of it. There I was, the elder son, reduced to an object of ridicule over my passion for creating worlds within pixels and code. Actually, I swallowed hard against the lump in my throat. I've decided to turn my hobby into a startup. Silence. Then, the laughter came harder, cut deeper. Embarrassment twisted its knife, and I saw it. The look of disappointment etched in my father's eyes like I was the punchline. All my life, I'd been taught to equate success with traditional measures, degrees, titles, and predictable paths. But standing there, feeling like a stranger in my own family, I vowed inwardly that their derision would not bind me. One day, I promised silently as my brother's chuckle cut like glass, one day I'll show them. I packed my life into a worn-out suitcase the next morning and left my childhood home. I settled into a tiny studio apartment in the bustling outskirts of Chicago. Concrete and chaos, I embraced it all. My days melded into nights, hungrily poring over every bite of knowledge I could devour, every piece of coding magic I could conjure. The world outside my window was a relentless surge, yet my world was honed in those moments when concept merged with execution, when inspiration was forged into reality. Months passed like whispered secrets until finally, it breathed, the game I'd envisioned, born from the depths of my rejection. It didn't take long for it to gain traction amongst gamers, craving a fresh experience. The once skeptical gaming reviews now sang praises for its narrative depth and innovation. The sales were astronomical, a testament that dreams, if pursued with unyielding determination, could indeed become fortunes. Yet, success didn't plant its flags with just golden coins and accolades. It nourished me with validation, an armor against the echoes of my family's disdain. By the time my company was acquired by a major industry leader, I stood amidst towering skyscrapers, touching the stars I had longed for. Somewhere along this journey, prestige and recognition had quietly imbued me with the power to choose, to forgive, to return. The leaden sky loomed overhead the day I decided to return home. The mansion's bricks were as familiar and imposing as the memory of their laughter. Anxiety prowled at the edges of my resolve as I stepped over the threshold. Inside, the air was thick with nostalgia, 1,000 unacknowledged milestones hung in the ether. My mother was the first to see me, her eyes widening as if she'd seen a ghost resurrected. "Alex," she whispered, a medley of emotions flickering across her face, relief, joy, and perhaps, just a smidge of pride. But it was my father whose figure captured the room as he rose from the chair. There was no mistaking the shock in his eyes, nor the uncertainty in the quiver of his lips. We sat opposite each other, a chasm of years and unspoken sentiments between us. "I heard," my father began, each word weighted, "I heard about your success." A younger me would have reveled in this reluctant acknowledgement, but anger had long cooled into understanding. "I came to show you," I said, reaching into my pocket to unfold the paper. A magazine spread, lauding my return from obscurity to innovation. He took it, his fingers grazing the pages as though they might relay some understanding absent from words. "I'm sorry," he managed, his voice breaking on new trails of honesty. "We wanted you to be safe, Alex. Success was always just what we knew it to be." A strange warmth spread through my chest, quelling the old ache. "I understand now," I said simply. "But safe would never have taught me to believe in myself."